I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Good morning.
It's time to wake up.
This is Snowman in the Morning on the Arena Sports Network.
Did you not get the memo?
Let's get busy.
All right, we're getting right into this. Good morning, man. I know Josh is going to join me a little later, but man, I am hopping mad this morning. Ooh! Well, I'm happy too because I'm seeing another day, but in a couple of ways, I am hopping mad this morning. I will discuss after the first break. In the meantime, good morning. Welcome to Snowman in the Morning. We are presented by Sowers Ford of Michigan City, Indiana. Visit them at 3930 Franklin in Michigan City, and also by my good friends at LaPorteCountyLife.com. LaPorte County Life. Have you, ouch, that hurts. Try this again. Have you heard the good news? Well. Johnny Manziel made his debut for the Cleveland Browns. I'm joking, folks. I'm joking. Johnny Manziel made his debut. What do I think? Well, that's what my producer asked me. I'll answer that question also. Answer a couple of other questions. Of course, the spoken word will close the day. But I'm going to wait till after the break because I have you know what? Josh, if you're tuned in and you're listening, and I know you're listening from afar, I have a segment that I'm going to introduce after the first break, and it's called The Memo, because I got to get some memos out to some people, and it deals with a couple of the subjects that I spoke of yesterday in the spoken word. So I'll tell y'all about that as we go along. Rusty's Morning Wrap coming up here in a couple of minutes, and like I said, I got a memo for somebody after the first break. And I have a very funny story. And if y'all hadn't seen it already, I'll tell you about it as we go here. Oh, man. I just looked at the slate that my producer sent me. I'm going to have fun this morning with some of the questions that he asked me. And I know this man ain't going to like one of them, one of the questions that is going to be posed. But we'll get his reaction in just a moment. When you hear that music in the background, it's time for one thing and one thing only. That's Rusty's Morning Wrap, recapping the night before and the day that will be in the world of sports. And he's on the hotline with me. Good morning, Rusty.
Good morning, Brian. How are we doing on this Tuesday?
I burnt my bagel.
Uh-oh. One burnt bagel does not get too far, does it?
No, it doesn't.
We'll fly you over another one here.
Yeah, okay. What you got for me, Rusty?
Well, let's go through the morning wrap-up. Morning, Brian, everybody. Welcome to Tuesdays, presented by Wood Forest Bank, the official bank of the Arena Sports Network. Javier Baez hit his fifth home run in 14 games. No Cub has done that since 1993. Anthony Rizzo also homered, plus Kyle Hendricks picked up his fifth victory as the Cubs beat the Mets 4-1. Out in New York on Monday afternoon, Cubs return home to face the Giants this evening at Wrigley Field. Yoshi Wada throws against Ryan Vogelsong. White Sox held the Warriors 8-2 last night in U.S. Cellular Field. Chris Sale suffered the loss. He gave up 3 runs in 6 innings, but the Sox bullpen couldn't keep the game in hand after that. The Sox will host the Orioles again this evening. Jose Quintana will take on Chris Tillman.
Mm-hmm.
Bears have a number of questions heading into its third preseason game on the road this week at Seattle. Who will really back up Jay Cutler? Will it be Jimmy Clausen or Jordan Palmer? Also, who will be the number 3 wide receiver? The Bears did find another wide receiver in Santonio Holmes, signed him over the weekend, and he's excited to become part of the Bears organization. Preseason AP college football poll is out. Florida State number 1, followed by Alabama, Oregon, Oklahoma, and Ohio State. Notre Dame listed at 17, even though 4 players are suspended With the investigation going on for academic fraud, includes wide receiver and former Vernon Hills graduate DeVaris Daniels. 3 of the 4 players are considered to be starters.
Oops.
Derrick Rose had a day off for recovery day for his knee and workouts on the USA men's basketball team. Don't worry, he's healthy. Team USA won its exhibition open over Brazil 95-78 at the United Center Saturday night. 2 more exhibition games are upcoming this week at Madison Square Garden with a matchup. And the first one will be up against the Dominican Republic tomorrow night before they cut down a few more players. WNBA postseason begins on Friday for the Sky. They will be taking on the Dream in Atlanta for the start of the best-of-3 series. Game 2 will be at the Allstate Arena on Sunday evening at 6 o'clock. And lastly, Brian, if you missed it, our hats go off to Jackie Robinson West from Chicago with a resilient effort in beating Providence, Rhode Island 8-7 last night in the Little League World Series. They will take on Portland breakfast this evening in another elimination game. Rusty Silver for Arena Sports Network. Don't forget to visit Woodforest Bank at woodforest.com for more information.
You know what would be the greatest thing? If they came all the way back and won it all.
That would be great. The stories they have around all these kids is just phenomenal. I like everything that goes on.
I would love to see them come all the way back and win it all.
One thing I want to say that I saw last night that was outstanding is one of the players for Jackie Robinson West kind of showed up Providence, Rhode Island on the home run that he hit early in the game. He walked over in the next half inning and apologized to the coach for Providence, Rhode Island. I don't think he was asked to do that, but he did it himself, it looked like.
Yeah.
And they caught that on TV, and I thought that was exceptional. That shows something about Little League World Series or Little League baseball in general, that a kid can come over and do that and just basically say, hey, I'm not showing up your team.
You know what? Emotion of the moment, and to have the kid recognize that and make the apology, that's great. That is great. Just another notch in JRW's belt. Thank you, Rusty.
All right, have a great day.
Rusty Silver with Rusty's Morning Wrap. I'm going to pause for a break, and I got a memo to somebody. I'll tell you who it is in a minute. Get your best price on Ford trucks, Focus, F-150, Explorer, Escape, and Lincoln MKS, MKT, MKX, MKZ, as well as Fiesta, Fusion, Taurus, Mustang, Navigator, and all other new Ford Lincoln vehicles at the all-new Sowers Ford in Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. We offer new and used Ford Lincoln vehicles, parts, service, and used cars. If you are in Northwest Indiana or near Michigan City, LaPorte, Hobart, Burns Harbor, Valparaiso, Chesterton, South Bend, or Portage, there is no comparison to the other dealers around town. We are about to earn your business with top quality service and the most competitive pricing in Indiana. Stop by today at 3930 Franklin Street in Michigan City or give us a call at 219-879-5381. That's 219-879-5381. Or visit us online at www.sowersauto.com. Sowers Ford Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer.
Chow down with the Italian collection at Subway.
Delicioso.
Try the Mongelis's Chicken Pizzola Melt, a fresh take on Italian with tender, juicy chicken, zesterific pepperoni, and plenty of our signature recipe marinara sauce.
Perfecto.
Mamma mia!
And taste the amore with the Meatball Pepperoni Melt, a kickin' combination of Italian-style meatballs and pepperoni on your favorite freshly baked bread.
Only at Subway.
And only for a limited time.
Don't miss out.
Subway. Eat fresh.
Quality products from Bridgestone, Firestone, and great service is what sets U.S. Tire and Automotive apart. Our service department specializes in brake service alignments and oil changes for customers just like you. Come pay us a visit at 3350 Grant Street in Gary, Indiana, or call 219-884-4600, or visit us online at ustire-auto.com.
Now what's that? I say, now what's that boy up to? Better check on it, yeah.
You're listening to Snowman in the Morning.
Ask a silly question and get a silly answer.
Yo, Josh, Wake up. Wake up, I said. I'm trying to wake him up. Snowman of the Morning, presented by LaPorteCountyLife.com. LaPorte County Life, have you heard the good news? And we're in the process of getting some more sponsors for our network. And a big hello and good morning to the folks listening on the Lake County Sports Network with me this morning. Thank you all very much. Love you all. Okay. Now, in the interest of fairness, I just thought of this idea this morning, but after talking to a few people yesterday, including my buddy Ray Kincaid, the boss man of the Chicago Outlaws of the CILL, it seems like a person I have been dealing with found his way to their Facebook page. And Ray took care of business and banned him, which brings this to mind. This is not the spoken word. This is just a memo to him and any other person inside and outside of family. Subject is wanting me to quit and give up what I do. The memo is this: not happening. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you throw at me. And I better stop there before I get into a spoken word. I'll save that for the end of the show. Okay. Now, Josh, my wonderful producer, gave me the slate of everything that's going on and everything he wanted me to discuss. And the first thing he put on this list, we did the opening, we did the hot news, thank you, Rusty. But the first thing he wanted me to put, the first thing he put on was this. Am I impressed by Johnny Manziel's Monday Night Football debut? Now, Josh, why would you put this in my face knowing how I feel, A, about Manziel, and B, about the Cleveland Browns? Let me think. Nope, not impressed. Not impressed at all. Mr. Manziel went 7 of 11 for 65 yards against the Redskins backups. Brian Hoyer. Well, hell, that's just Brian Hoyer. Why is so much ballyhoo being paid? Why is so much attention? Okay, that's the correct question I want to pose. Why is so much attention being paid to Johnny Manziel? Why is so much spotlight being shown on Johnny Manziel when... Here I go with a familiar joke, but I have to do it. A, it's in Cleveland, for God's sakes. And B, it's Johnny Manziel. Come on. You really think he's going to do something this year? You know what I'd do? If I were... hold on. I had an idea and I didn't go through with it. If I were Mike Pettine or Petnine of the Cleveland Browns, I'd hand Johnny Manziel a clipboard and tell him to go sit down and learn. And I wouldn't do that just from a football standpoint. I would do that from a mental standpoint. We all know the backlash he got for some of the pictures that have gotten out about him, not only now, but when he was at Texas A&M. I'd hand him a clipboard and tell him, go sit down. Period. You got a lot of growing up to do, kid. You know what this reminds me of? Can't believe this. I got a beautiful dear friend, Sherry Lynn, tuned in to me. I think she's sitting in a dentist's office in Florida, but she's tuned in, and thank you, Sherry. I'd hand John. Okay, A lot of people do not agree with me with this opinion, but I'm old school. I'd hand Johnny Manziel a clipboard and tell him, sit down until you're ready. You have to remember, there's two parts to playing quarterback in the NFL. One of them's physical, the other is mental. And mentally, he's not there. And there's no way that Mike Pettin, unless something happens late in the middle of this of the preseason, where they would actually design an offense that's tailored to his strengths, which is him getting out of the pocket and improvising, a la Brett Favre. There's a difference between Johnny Manziel and Brett Favre. Brett Favre is 6'3". Johnny Manziel is barely 5'10". And when Brett Favre does it, even though I hated it when he was with the Packers, I hated it. I hated it with a passion. But it was fun to see him run around and make plays. It was fun to see him keep his eyes downfield. It was fun to see him do things that were not supposed to be done, a la Steve Young. And I'll always keep Steve Young in the conversation. He's a Hall of Famer, just like Brett Favre is going to be. But Johnny Manziel, sit down, will you please? Sit down and grow up. Because the more you show your personal side while you're trying to become the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, the more you're going to fail. And I mean that in this sense. Your brain is not going to be locked in when it comes time to prepare. Coach already said, keep your poise. That means on and off the field. The same way I got to keep my poise on and off the mic. And yesterday I didn't, but I had a reason. But you got to keep everything. See, this is a time for rookies to learn, okay? Unless you're the special case of Peyton Manning, who, by the way, graduated from Tennessee, who, by the way, got his degree before he was drafted, Mr. Manziel, and, by the way, had the maturity to play right away. The same maturity that you don't have, and at the outset never will have. Can I be wrong about that? Sure I can. Sure I can be wrong. I can be wrong about a couple of quarterbacks in this situation. But I'll bet you one thing. I bet you Teddy Bridgewater will have a better year than you will, Mr. Manziel. Because Teddy Bridgewater actually looks like he wants to play the part, actually looks like he wants to learn, actually feels like he wants to sit down and learn everything so that when the keys to the car are handed to him, he will run it without a problem. In the case of the Cleveland quarterback controversy, if you want to call it that, and I'm being very, very generous, well, can you really call it a controversy? You got Brian Hoyer and you got Johnny Manziel. Brian Hoyer was lucky to come back and beat the Vikings last year in Minnesota. I loved it, but he was lucky in doing so because the Vikings handed him 3 turnovers. You don't turn the ball over and expect to win. My 49ers found that out the hard way in the NFC Championship when they turned the ball over 3 times in 10 minutes. Difference is they still had a chance to come back and win that doggone thing. Mr. Lopez, I know he's going to zap me for this. But as far as the quarterback controversy in Cleveland, there is no controversy because you're choosing between 2 wrong ends of a coin, 2 wrong ends of a stick, or 2 wrong sides of a coin. It's a double-headed coin. Y'all remember Batman Forever with the Harvey Two-Faces coin? A great job played by Tommy Lee Jones, mind you. You have the clear head and the scarred head. That's what you have in Cleveland. Thank you, Sherry. She says the following quote, have respect for all the athletes that finish and have their degrees before they go pro. Abso-bleepin-lutely, because that's the way the progression is supposed to be. All of these early entrants, and I never got a chance to speak about this, and someone suggested this to me, and I'm going to do this in parts throughout the course of the season. To show your maturity, finish school, please. I'm talking about flat maturity. And this is how my friend James McCallum explained it to me. The further you go in school, the more mentally prepared you will be for anything in life, especially athletics. I'll say it again. Manziel came out with the intent of being a starter. 1998, Peyton Manning did the same thing, but he was armed and he was prepared and he was ready. Not to mention he had a great quarterback as a father named Archie. So Peyton Manning was getting education on and off the field everywhere he went. Now, could Manziel prove me wrong? Sure he could. I'll leave that option open. I'll leave it open to admit when I'm wrong if Manziel decides to show off. But if you're going to show off, Mr. Manziel, do it in the course of the offense. Do it in the course of getting your team in a position to win. And for that matter, speaking of quarterback questions, RG3 didn't look too good either. It is my belief that RG3 should not have played last year and given his injury complete time to heal instead of trying to get back as soon as possible. Jay Cutler, I say the same thing to you. When Jay Cutler went down with his injury, you should have shelved him, let him completely heal, and then come back this year. Only very special athletes can come back from some of the horrific injuries that I saw over this past year. And one of those special athletes is Adrian Peterson. Came back from tearing his ACL and rushed for 2,000 yards. But back to Mr. Manziel. Mr. Manziel, grab a clipboard and sit down. Grab a clipboard and sit down. Learn. Study. Learn some more. Study some more. Get your shots in with the second team and make sure you practice what you learned. Because so far, you don't look the part. So far, you don't look the part. And you know what's even scarier? I'm willing to bet that there's going to be such immediate pressure for Coach Pettman to hand Johnny Football the keys to the offense that the coach is just going to react and do it. And if that happens, if I were the coach, I'd get the hell out of town and let them sink their own ship. I'm joking as I say this next thing. I know he's going to be thinking, I got myself into what? Coaching who? But then against Cleveland, why are we not surprised? Snowman in the Morning brought to you in part by Subway, who reminds you to eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh, folks. Now, I promised a funny story, and here it is. And a belated birthday wish to my homie Joshua Jackson in Jacksonville, Florida, whom I love very dearly. And I promised you would hear him yesterday on the afternoon show. We never got a chance to do it, so we're going to do it today. And I got a little announcement about that. And I'm also being given a memo right now that this may become an express version because I'm reading my notes here. I'll sort it out and tell you after the break. Here's what happened. Joshua Jackson. I saw a video on Facebook of Joshua Jackson taking the ice bucket challenge, and my name was tagged. So I said, the heck with it. I went and found a bucket, filled it with ice, nearly dropped the thing before I could do the challenge. That would have been awful if I'd have dropped the bucket before I had a chance to do the thing. But I didn't. Just a couple drops of water came out, a couple cubes, and I did the ice bucket challenge. Which explains why I got so tired so fast. As my friend Voody explained to me, you know what? It's like taking a cold shower. It's like taking a cold shower. I believe it now. But the reason the challenge came down is a very important one, folks. It's called ALS, a.k.a. Lou Gehrig's disease. And a couple folks have told me, you know what, that's gotten out of control. You know what, let it get out of control just as long as we find a cure for this horrible disease. That's why the Ice Bucket Challenge is on. And I made my challenge to my buddy, I made the challenge to my buddy Mike Green. Brenda Smith also got challenged, and they're gonna do it. I think Brenda's doing it Saturday at the UC. Now, while I have y'all in front of me, I mentioned ALS, the Ice Bucket Challenge, and everything associated with it. I did some quick research. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, often referred to as Lou Gehrig's disease, is a progressive neurodegenerative disease that affects nerve cells in the brain and the spinal cord. Motor neurons reach from the brain to the spinal cord and from the spinal cord to the muscles throughout the body. The progressive degeneration of the motor neurons in ALS eventually leads to their death. When the motor neurons die, the ability of the brain to initiate and control muscle movement is lost. With voluntary muscle action progressively affected, patients in the later stages of the disease become totally paralyzed. There are two hashtags that go with this. Hashtag Ice Bucket Challenge and hashtag Strikeout ALS. Come on, people. Let's do this. Please. If you haven't been challenged, a challenge is coming to you because we need to strike this disease out. We do. And the information I just read you is from ALSA.org, the ALS Association, and just read a little bit about what it is. Now, a little history on the Ice Bucket Challenge that is associated with ALS. This is from August 12th, 2004. In the last 2 weeks, the Ice Bucket Challenge has quite literally soaked the nation. Everyone from Ethel Kennedy to Justin Timberlake has poured a bucket of ice water over their head and challenged others to do the same or make a donation to fight ALS within 24 hours, which is what ASN will do anyway. Between July 29th and today, August 12th, the ALS Association and its 38 chapters have received, you ready for this, an astonishing $4 million in donations compared to $1.12 million during the same time period last year. An Ice Bucket Challenge that's sweeping the nation and helping out a great cause, which is the destruction and the defeat of ALS, has raised $4 million in less than 3 weeks. This is up to August 12th. The number has substantially grown. The ALS Association is incredibly grateful for the outpouring of support from those people who have been doused, made a donation, or both. Contributions further the association's mission to find a cure for ALS while funding the highest quality of care for people living with this disease. There's your Ice Bucket history. And what a history. And I did it yesterday. And I might do it again either today or tomorrow and challenge some more people. What's important in the world, you ask, besides football and the return thereof? How about this? How about an Ice Bucket Challenge? How about the fact that people want to be happy? about the fact that people deserve to be happy. Like I said, I better quit before this becomes a spoken word, and I'm not even there yet. I'll stop here. When we come back, Josh posed me another very interesting question concerning Chicago baseball. Should we be scared? Oh, yeah. Introduce.
Lower your costs with a certified pre-owned vehicle from Sowers Ford. With a lower price and lower payments, you can lower your cost of driving in a vehicle that's new to you. Get a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 172-point inspection, 24-hour roadside assistance, and 3 months of SiriusXM satellite radio. 2.9% financing available to qualified buyers. You'll drive for less at Sowers Ford. Sowers Ford Lincoln, 3930 Franklin, Michigan City, 219-879-5381. Or visit us at SowersFord.com.
18, line, ball. Give me the ball. Let's go.
Pull out your recorders and cover your children's eyes. You're about to enter the afternoon locker room.
Weekdays from 3 to 5 on the Arena Sports Network and the Lake County Sports Network.
At Strack & Van Til, we think differently about groceries. We always have. So what does that mean? It means better, fresher, focused on you. Your neighborhood store that gives you more. It's quality, selection, the variety you want. Choice meats, deli, bakery, your one-stop shop. Everything on your list and all for less. With the savings you deserve and unbeatable service, that's different. That's built around you, and that's your Strack & Van Til.
Have you heard the good news about a crazy dream based on a belief that positive breeds positive and that people want to read, hear, and watch stuff about good people? Have you heard the good news about a place you can go to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region you live in and the people involved? Have you heard the good news about a place where you can celebrate what is right in the world, share it with your friends, family, and community, and neighbors at school, work, or place of worship, and have fun doing it? Well, there is such a place. That place is LaPorteCountyLife.com. LaPorteCountyLife.com is all about the positive, not the negative, bringing out the best and not the worst, and all about promoting positivity in your community. LaPorteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news?
Now what's that? I say now what's that boy up to? Better check on it, yeah.
You're listening to Snowman in the Morning.
Ask a silly question, you get a silly answer.
August 30th, Recovery rocks the LaPorte County Fairgrounds Commercial Building 2 as we celebrate women and recovery from substance abuse. It'll go from 1 to 8 p.m. on Saturday, August 30th. Like I said, yours truly will be out there with a special 3-hour ALR Saturday special. The afternoon locker room goes to Saturday, and we'll go from 3 to 6. We'll have a lot of trivia, a lot of prizes, a lot of chance to talk to some great people. And it's after the show where the fun really begins, because old Snowman's going to be in the dunk tank. Yes, I'm going to get dunked. I'm going to get splashed. I'm going to get splattered. My friend Ron Murchison is joining me, which this has now become an express edition because we have to get out of here and head to Three Oaks, Michigan in a little bit. We'll stay with you as long as we can, but we're going to do a full 3-hour afternoon locker room from Three Oaks, Michigan, and I'll knock that out before I go and do my Tuesday night sports drive. So, folks, I want y'all to have fun with this. We're still getting our programming ideas together. Dennis Whiten working hard as well. And Dennis, I apologize to you for taking so long to get you some information. It's my fault. I got so tied up with a few other things outside of work that I didn't get the information to you in a timely manner. So, my friend, I apologize. I'm going to rectify that situation later on today. Now, my friend Ronald Murchison has joined me, and he made a comment yesterday while we were within the midst of the spoken word. He said that the Cubs would win a World's I forgot the way he put it. Doggone it. And I don't want to misquote Ron. He's a good friend. He said, I think he said something like this: the Cubs will win a World Series before ASN meets its demise. and ASN ain't going to meet its demise anytime soon. So to the person or people who want to see that happen, you may as well just forget it. You know what's something fun? Here's something funny. I didn't mention this yesterday. A person in my family who I told, I got a message here from Sherry. The 10-year-old's name is Max. And Max is 10 years old, sitting in a dentist's office with his mom, Sherry. And Sherry's trying to keep him calm. And I ought to be calm myself because I don't like dentists either. But Maxie, listening to you. Love you dearly. Thanks for listening, man. That's for Max, and that's for his mom, Sherry. Now, an interesting question Josh posed to me. And the question is this, and I'm going to follow it with a question of my own. Who will win a World Series next? The White Sox or the Cubs? Come on, Josh. You're talking about serving one up on a silver platter. Okay. I want to answer this question, but I don't. Oh, what the hell? I'll go ahead and answer it. You know what? I can't answer that question. I can't. Because it would be completely biased, it would be completely skewed, it would be completely unfair. But it would be funnier than hell. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and make a short answer, and then I'm going to back it up with a question of my own that I asked before on a previous show. Who would win a World Series first, the White Sox or the Cubs? I don't want. You know what? I'll save the answer. Y'all already. Why am I even answering this? You guys know my answer. You know how I feel, and how much I joke around with Cub fans. Come on. You know my answer. I don't need to answer this question. The question I am going to pose, and I'm so glad I have Ron in the chat room. The question I am going to pose is this. And I did this for a question. I did this for a question of the day. I want to say 3 weeks ago. But we'll see. I did this for a question of the day 3 weeks ago. And the question is as follows. If you had a chance to push the plunger to blow up Wrigley Field, Ron, would you do it? I'm waiting to see his answer. If you had a chance to push the plunger to blow the daylights out of Wrigley Field, would you do it? Got my answer. Got my answer. He basically said, not happening. And he playfully turned his nose up to me. I should have known. I should have known he wants Wrigley Field to stay. But Ron, come on, let's be honest. $500 million into a place that's decaying by the second, and they're going to add a video board. Why? Why? Why are they going to add a video board to a place that's older than? Well, I can't make that joke. Why are they going to add? Why are they going to add modern amenities to a place that needs to be blown up sideways? I mean, I understand the significance, and I understand the what word am I looking for? The significance and the landmark status. That's what I wanted. Oh, the comment I just got from Ron. He said, assassinate Epstein, save Wrigley. No, Don't save Wrigley. Blow it up. I mean, strap 100 tons of dynamite in that bad boy, strap another 100 tons around that bad boy, and push the bleeping plunger. Please. There's too much traffic around Wrigley Field. You know that. And I'm going to ask this question to Ron while I have him in the chat room with me. Folks, if you're listening along, you can listen along with our Spreaker link, and also you can chat along with us. And for those of you that are watching us and listening to us on YouTube, we thank you for that as well. Why do you want to assassinate Epstein? Isn't he supposed to be the savior and bring y'all a championship? Tear down the rooftops. Oh boy, this is going to disintegrate fast. How did those rooftops, Ron, talk to me. How did those rooftops get in play in the first place? What do they want? Why are they holding up the supposed construction of whatever the hell they want to do to Wrigley Field in the first place? Why are they doing this? Why are these rooftop owners so hell-bent on getting a piece of the pie that they haven't earned or that they don't deserve? Why? Don't you know they're delaying the press? I can't believe I'm going to say this. I really can't. I'm just adjusting my microphone here. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Here it comes. They're delaying the preservation of Wrigley Field. I'm sorry. I don't believe I said that either. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't believe I said that either. That's just not right. It's not right. You know, and Ronald Murchison has a very good point. People think of Epstein as a genius. He didn't build Boston into a champion. They were already in place. So what did he do? What did he do? And Sherry just sent me a compliment that my friend Donna Kavanaugh paid me last Tuesday night in Michigan. What is it with y'all and hearing me laugh? Well, that's what Sherry says. She says, love hearing you laugh. Well, Sherry, honey, I can't help it. People send me strange stuff. And I start laughing. So if he didn't build Boston into a champion, Ron, why is he here? I'm going to see if I can get an answer to that. If he didn't build Boston into a champion, the pieces were already there. That's true. That's true. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. Then what the hell is he doing here? What the hell is he doing for that Cubs franchise, if anything? While I await an answer, I'm going to step aside for a break. A couple more things to do, and then we're going to get out of here because we got to hustle up to Three Oaks, Michigan, and get set up for a 3-hour afternoon locker room. But I'm going to pause right now, and when we come back, I'll come back with 2 more things, and then the question of the day, and then we're going to get out of here.
Have you heard the good news about a company that started 4 years ago and worked at a relentless pace based entirely upon one simple premise? Have you heard the good news about a place you can go to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region that you live in and the people involved? Have you heard the good news that you yourself can share stories about this same theme to others in your community? That place is LaPorteCountyLife.com. At LaporteCountyLife.com, you can celebrate a company that had a crazy dream based on a belief that positive breeds positive and that people want to read, hear, and watch stuff about good people. At LaporteCountyLife.com, you can go to a place to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region that you live in and the people involved. Want to see more? Want to read more? Want to hear more? Then go to LaporteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news?
Have you ever wanted your own phone app but thought it was too expensive? Here is something even better. The best custom mobile page QR system in the world designed for smartphones, iPhones, and tablets. Have the business card of the future for our mobile world. It includes your own customizable mobile page with unlimited flexibility, your contact info, YouTube channel, videos, events, specials, audio, and more, all on your mobile page. Your own back office so you can make real-time, unlimited updates and changes as often and as much as you want. One code is all you will ever need as you change anything in real time from your back office. This is your business card on all ads, Facebook, t-shirts, flyers, and doorways everywhere. All of this for $99.90 a year plus a $3 payment fee. Visit www.qr2015.net for more information or call 312-802-1208. That's 312-802-1208. The future is in your hands. Call or visit online today.
Now what's that? I say, now what's that boy up to? Better check on it, yeah.
You're listening to Snowman in the Morning.
Ask a silly question, get a silly answer.
Snowman in the Morning, bro. Ron's had me cracking up during the break. Oh man, Snowman in the Morning on the Arena Sports Network and the Lake County Sports Network Express Edition this morning because we got to hustle to Three Oaks, Michigan, to get ready for our afternoon locker room, which is going to be a full 3 hours. And the final hour of the show, I'm going to be laughing harder than this. I'll explain that before we get out of here. Okay, I asked a question to Ron during the break about one Theo Epstein. And my question was, if he really didn't build that champion in Boston, then what the hell is he doing here? This is Ron's answer, and this is why I was laughing during the break. He's here because the Ricketts are not that smart. They have shown that they can't run a team. The Tribune thought the same thing with Andy McPhail, but at least he gave us some good teams. All we have to look forward to with these guys is a 3-year rebuilding plan every year. A 3-year rebuilding. Oh, this has got to stop. This has got to stop. Holy cow. A 3-year rebuilding plan every year. That's just so foul. It's true, but it's foul. Okay? And I know Ron's going to hate me for this. These are the Cubs we're talking about, okay? I wonder. You know what? I'll save that question for tomorrow. We got about 12 minutes left before we have to split. And oh boy. About 12 minutes left before we have to split and pack all our gear and head to Three Oaks, Michigan. There are 2 shows that will be coming from there. On ASN and Lake County Sports Network, you'll have the afternoon locker room, and it's scheduled at its new time. 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. 2 p.m. Central. A real Cub fan speaks the truth. Thank you, Ron. A real fan. Let me amend that and say this for everybody who thinks they know sports. A real fan, no matter what team or league, speaks the truth. Now, I've spoken the truth many times about many teams, and people still don't want to listen to me. Your fault. Period. your fault for not listening. Anyway, like I was saying, a new time for Afternoon Locker Room, 2 p.m. today. We'll go a full 3 hours. And, oh boy, I get to have Trisha Andrew on the show today. And I've cleared the last hour just for her. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. That's where all of our NBA talk is going to be. All right? So that'll be today from 2 to 5. Piecing together Snowman in the morning as well, especially with football coming. We're sitting, our regular length is 2 hours. Like I said, we got to do Express today because we got to head up to Michigan. Okay. Then I'm going to go with the question of the day. No, I'm being told go to the spoken word and close out so we can start packing. So I'll go to the spoken word. Oh boy, today's spoken word presented by Gigahertz, the official computer solutions company of the Arena Sports Network. Gigahertz. And that's where we come in. Now listen. Today's spoken word is this. Never be afraid to follow your dreams. I've talked about this many, many times before, but I've run into so many kids that have told, and I've run into adults too, that have told me they're afraid to do what they love to do because of losing money. You know something? You're going to lose money if you pursue your dreams, but you're going to gain it back if you do it right. You can't be afraid anymore, folks. We're living in too timid of a society. And I want to direct this to my friend Sherry down in Florida, who has Max with her as they sit in the dentist's office. But I want Max to pay attention to this also. Not just Sherry. I want Max and her other children. I think she's got 3 kids. I want them all to hear this. Ron just reminded me of something that a real fan speaks the truth and a real person will speak the truth. You can't be afraid to pursue your dreams. You can't. I began this sentence and then Sherry popped up on my screen with a message from her little one. You can't be too afraid to pursue your passion and pursue your dreams. We live in too timid of a society and too money hungry of a society that people, when they don't see instant gratification from pursuing what they want to do, they give up. Come on, everybody. That's not what you were taught when you were children. You were taught to see it through. You were taught to see it to its finish, especially when running a business. You don't turn a profit right off the bat. The first thing you establish is the passion for what you want. The first thing you establish is the drive to get what you need, doing what you love. That's the first part of it. You cannot be so dependent on financial gain that you lose the reason you stepped out on faith. You hear that word? Faith in the first place. You can't be afraid of that anymore. Most of society is too timid and too afraid. Do I understand the reasons? Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, please. I understand the reasons of why people want to step back and go, I think I'll just stay with what I have. If you're not happy, don't. If you're not happy, why are you staying with what you have, which is going to make you even more miserable? It's not right. It's crazy. that this is such a money-driven society? What happened to the dreamers in this country? What happened to the people that outnumbered the money-hungry fools? What happened to the people that actually lived what they talked about doing? Isn't that what it should be all about in the first place? Living what you talked about doing when you were a kid? And you had three of the best options because they were your options. Hell, first thing I wanted to do was to be a game show host because of Bob Barker. I never got that chance, but I found what I wanted to do also. I found the next best thing I wanted to do. And I've been doing it for almost 20 years. But people will look at the fact that A, I haven't quote-unquote turned a profit, B, I haven't earned 7 figures yet, or C, I have completely walked away from trying to find a job in the industry. You know what my original thought is when this company was formed in 1995? If we can't find a job in the industry that we want, we'll piss them off and create it. We're in the 21st century, folks. The technology is your tool. Do what you love, man. And I just had a great point come to me. Greed has taken away the dreams of the dreamers. Oh, is that ever true? Greed has taken away the dreams of the dreamers. Well, it's time the dreamers took back their dreams and not only take them back, but execute them. Don't be afraid to do what you love because of such a money crunch in this country. You know who created the money crunch in this country? The 9 or 10 people that own every doggone thing and had it filtered down to the people that are living and working and providing them the money to sit on, saying, hey, you can't do that because we need more money from you so we can sit on it and tease you about it later. It's not right. You want to piss them off? Take your dreams back. You want to really piss them off? Step out on faith and execute them. You really want to get on their nerves? Do the first 2 things, and with the money that you earn from living your dreams, you show them some of the stuff you did. Fight fire with fire. Period. In a legal sense. In a legal sense, okay? Stay with me here. Fight fire with fire. Come on, you can't let these people that snatched your dreams and the money associated with it get away from you. Come on. It's not right. And you know it's not right. It's not right for people to be this way. And it's not right for the people affected to feel this way. Ask yourself a question. What's the first thing? And I want the adults that feel the same way I and a few other people do to ask yourself this question. And I am not going to put the words, if you had the means, all right? Screw the means. You got the means. It's inside your mind and it's inside your heart. How about that for having the means? Oh, and this is to the person that I mentioned earlier that wanted me to quit and wanted me to fold up. I ain't folding up. I got news for you. It ain't happening. Ask yourself, I want all the adults that still harbor dreams of doing what they love to do, no matter what age or place you are in life. I want you to ask this question to yourself and give yourself an honest answer. What is it that you love to do the most that you can turn into money to piss off these big wigs that don't think you can do it? How's that for a question of the day? Or to put it simply, what is your dream job? And to back it up, when you find out what your dream job is, how do you go about creating it? Not finding it, creating it. How do you go about creating your dream job? The future's serious, folks. Let's take advantage of it. Let's let the dreamers be dreamers again, and then have them step out on faith and do what they love. It's pretty simple. With that in mind,
that's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Oh, man. Wasn't that great, kid?
listen, folks, your dreams do not have to be cut short by anything or anybody. As long as God gives you breath each day, you have a chance to live out a dream doing something that you love. It's up to you to find it, pray about it, seek his wisdom, and then go get it. Period. Thanks for listening, folks. I'll be back with you at 3 Eastern with a 3-hour afternoon locker room. Until then, have a great day. God bless. And make your next move your best move. And don't be afraid to dream anymore. So long, everybody.